Greetings to you, viewers, and welcome again to KMC Media Ministry, where we run with the theme Hope to the Hopeless. Today, we are joined by a man. He's a brother to me, an elder also, a man who wears 3 serious hats at the Namibia South Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Welcome, Brother E.S.Mudabeti. He runs the Youth Ministries Department, specifically young adults, and then the Education Department as well as PARL. New year, new office.
My approach is authentic leadership. Even before I became director for senior youth, I allow them to be who they are. We engage them and hear what their inputs are.
What should we be excited about in terms of expectations?
Dedication ceremonies. Prioritize capacity building for leaders. We want to make sure that this year is to sharpen youth leadership. Global Youth Day, it's not yet final, but it's on Independence Day in this country. We should be inviting the Minister of Beliefs and the top youth leadership in the country so that we run it together as a government to show that there is a contribution that we have in this country.
All right. I think that will be a good move to engage the leadership outside the church setup so they appreciate and see how we run the church errands also. How are we going to take care of them and in setting the eternal truth in their minds, especially that we have a 15-second attention span now in this digital world?
And then once we have identified which platforms, then we're going to go for that. On TikTok and all these, we would make sure that our presence is not just church driven, but even engagement. We also want to make God trend, And so we are building a brand. We are rolling out a program where we want to make sure that every senior youth ambassador and young adult brand ambassadors.
How has been the pastorate? How are our own Adventist schools behaving?
We are producing the best quality. And how do I know? When our children go for upper primary, grade 4 to 7, the schools come and actually tell us, please, can you send
this and that?
Because they know. And our reading skills,
top notch.
Numerous, mathematics, top notch. The 2 others they've mentioned, which you hardly find anywhere else, behavior. Eden will be ranked among private schools in this country for metric results. Every time Eden appears in the papers, we will not be speaking ourselves of our performance, but the country will judge and see.
Based on their records,
we've laid solid foundations for it.
So how are we making sure that the Adventist values and the excellence and results that we want, especially in our youth, all being educated, what are we doing to cater for the young, less privileged who are not able to attend school, especially in high colleges?
Yeah, what we are going to infuse that which they could have got in Adventist education, which is called integration of learning. The church members, the kids who are ambassadors in the public schools who struggle with mathematics, we're going to bring them and offer them is free sex. It is free on the surface, but we know that we're going to use it to infuse integration of learning so that our children get to feed what they are missing in an Adventist school. That will give them exposure.
Yes, of
course. And so that's a big part of what we want to do through public ministry for those who missed Adventist education and ambassadors to see in which areas they're struggling in capacity.
Public affairs and religious liberty. It's a department that most people associate it only when Sunday law comes or when there's a conflict. What does this department have to do with our practical daily living as Adventists and as general Namibian population?
Yeah, and we invited the Commissioner General of Namibia Correctional Service in terms of reintegration and rehabilitation of inmates. And we are engaging them as stakeholders in making sure that the gospel reaches inmates. We pay courtesy post the Minister of Education. It also happens to the Minister of Youth. All right. Yeah, and we invite her for our Global Youth Day. And GYC Africa, we want her to be the guest of honor. And also speak to her and inform her that we have a number of schools and our contribution to national development. Pastors are trained to pay courtesy calls to regional governors, to regional councils, to traditional authorities. And once a month, there will be a part in the media newspapers that will showcase what we do, our relationship with government, and making sure we become the voice of reason, even against injustice in the country.
Well, our viewers, you hear the story. New Era is not only on the traditional printed letters, but also on the digital platform. So it's good for you to subscribe on time so you can follow up on the issue that we are discussing here.
And as for those that have gone through the trauma that comes in domestic violence, we have a support system as a church, and we are willing to offer counseling services for free